We are tracking the Caribbean and Gulf of Mexico, where the future tropical storm Helene is developing and could become a major hurricane. So it doesn't look like much now. We talked about it last week as just a mass of clouds here in the Caribbean, but this is going to potentially rapidly intensify in the very warm waters of the Gulf and become Helene here very shortly, sometime today, and then potentially a major hurricane as it hits Florida. So 80% chance of cyclone formation right now. We're also watching a disturbance way off into the eastern zone of the Atlantic tropical development area. Waters are very warm in the Gulf of Mexico, mid to upper 80s, even some 90-degree water temperatures, and those readings are above normal. No shocker there. There were some pockets of cooler waters about a month ago, but those have since dissipated. Waters in the Gulf 2 to 3 degrees above normal. Doesn't sound like a lot, but when we're talking about water especially, that's a lot of extra energy, a lot of extra heat. And a little reminder of definitions here of rapid intensification: 35 miles an hour or more in a 24-hour period. And that is something that we're seeing more and more as a result of climate change with these warmer, super-fueled oceans. Not necessarily more storms, but storms are able to intensify more quickly. Waters in the Gulf of Mexico for this time of year are the second warmest right now, and you can see way above the normals. When we look at the Caribbean, tied for the warmest at this point in the season. Again, there's the normal and way above it. This year and last year, just incredible warmth in our global oceans, and the tropics are no exception. We look at the tropical Atlantic formation area as a whole, it's the warmest for this time of the season on record. And when we look at the potential for this rapid intensification, this is looking at various models over time here over the next 72 hours. We're talking about going from not even a named storm to potentially a major hurricane. Now, there are a lot of possibilities, anywhere from a tropical storm to a Category 4 storm. So still a lot to work out in the forecast here. Here's the Canadian ensemble models. The European ensembles keep it more in that tropical storm strength. So that might be some encouraging news, but the American ensembles are the most aggressive, pushing it into that major hurricane stage here before it makes landfall. Probably Thursday, it looks like, in Florida. So here it is spinning right between the Yucatan, Cuba, Dominican Republic, and then moving into the Gulf. That was very warm waters, and then intensifying rapidly, and then making landfall somewhere in the panhandle area of Florida Thursday, and then this will rain itself out across the southeastern U.S. But again, the American model, one of the more aggressive ones right now. This is the wind gust swath from that, and you can kind of see the pathway here. But the models, some of them are shifting a little further west, more into the panhandle. So the variability, the possibilities with that track, still obviously some time to work that out, but generally somewhere in the panhandle area of Florida sometime on Thursday or late Thursday. And there's going to be a ton of rainfall regardless of how intense Helene becomes. At least a half foot of rain, plus there will be storm surge as well. All things that'll be worked out as we get a little closer to time and able to really hone out the details in the forecast models over the coming couple of days.